All right, welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. If you have a messy, unkempt crawl space under your house, then you're asking for humidity in your vents. You're asking for bugs in your home. Southeast Termite and Pest Control can protect your home, protect your family from bugs, from the humidity in the vents with their crawl space encapsulation service. Say that 5 times fast. That's tougher than Nico's name. Give them a call or visit their website for more information. Do it this week. This is the group I use, and I've used them for years. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, southeasttermite.com. All right. After Auburn was eliminated in the second round by Miami last week, their alum, Charles Barkley, said it was a good year. Not great, but good. Auburn this year was number 1 in the country for the first time in school history. Auburn won the Southeastern Conference regular season championship. And that doesn't qualify as a great year? My question, because of that, and because when I was growing up, and I would argue prior to social media, that would have been considered a great year by Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
You win your league, great year. You make it to number 1 for the first time in school history, great year. Now it's just a good year. Like a tire. My question, is the NCAA tournament taking too much away from the regular season in basketball? You're nodding.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Next year, Tennessee has a 500 basketball team, barely gets into the NCAA tournament, but they make the Elite Eight. Which team is remembered better? Your first-time SEC champions in buku years, or the team that was the second to go to the Elite Eight? So, yeah, I think that's what makes it a tournament sport.
Bob's 100% right. I don't think that's true for everyone, but I think it's true for enough people that if I was a coach or I was a player, it would annoy me. I think as somebody who covers the sport, it's easy to sort of watch and you kind of know, well, this season's going to be defined by the tournament. And if you say that enough times, then it becomes true. And I don't think it's not true, but I think, you can sort of validate a season by getting as far as you quote unquote should have. You can invalidate a season by doing what Tennessee did the last couple of years. And I think you can enhance a season. So, there's sort of a middle ground there, but no question, if you hit those polls in March, one or the other, it's gonna affect how that team's remembered.
I would argue we've always said it's a tournament sport, just like you mentioned. That's been said for so long. I mean, I think we've already had the view that the NCAA tournament is mostly what matters to people. And I think it's that way in every sport now. If you're a good regular season team in the NFL and can't win the playoffs, you have that reputation, and it drags you down. So I don't know. I think it's what – maybe it's too much of the sports conversation year-round, but I think it's just kind of the reality of the sports world we're in today.
I don't know that you view it as the failure in the NFL that you do. I mean, we discussed this earlier this week. Tennessee fans enjoyed their season this past year.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting much. It wasn't a great year.
Well, it's all about expectations.
Yeah, it's all about expectations. But I just think that that college basketball takes too much away from the regular season. My question would be, if the NCAA expands the football to 8 or 12 teams, do you eat into the football regular season? And I was a guy who used to not think that would be the case, but I also used to think that a playoff isn't going to hurt the bowl games. Yes, it has. The bowl games were right. It has hurt them. So now I'm wondering, are all these people who've said for years, you're going to nuke the regular season, are they right? Vince?
I think in college basketball, there's the biggest discrepancy in between regular season and postseason, and part of that is because there is so much more parity throughout college basketball, maybe more so than some other sports, and that's just kind of talent spreading. I think that's happening,
It's also a sport where, much more than the others, are you hot on a given night?
Right. And what's crazy is Tennessee was one of the hottest teams in the country going into the tournament. It's getting hot once the tournament actually starts. It doesn't matter. You could be cold. You could be one and done in your conference tournament, disappointing. Look at Michigan. They had 3 2-game winning streaks the entire season and 1 3-game winning streak, yet they were able to still beat Tennessee, the higher seed. So it's just a matter of getting hot at the right time once the tournament starts.
Yeah, some of it's the sport. Alabama's not going to have a bad day controlling the line of scrimmage. That doesn't happen. Some of it's just the nature of the sport.
The best team doesn't always.
Yeah, and 12 would make me a little nervous. 8, I don't think will have that much effect on the regular season. I think you have too many. I think you have too many. Like you can get more places involved in. Hey, this conference championship matters because we can get to the playoff. Hey, we can still get in it. I like that. 12 would make me nervous.
Agreed.
But 8, I'm all in.
I can live with 8. 12 might be too much. Now, I will say another difference between football and basketball is football is such a soap opera that you have one game a week. You have you have so few games. Each one takes on greater importance. Basketball, you're now playing 40 games. It used to start after Thanksgiving. Now it starts at around Halloween. It's too many games, first of all. So you play 40, and then the only ones that matter are the last 5, or the last one, the one that you lose. The last 5 or 6 in the tournament are the only ones people remember. I just think it's too much emphasis on that tournament. I also think while it's a wildly entertaining way to determine a champion, it is also a crap way to determine a champion.
The Gonzagas and Arizonas of the world, the tournament's impossible to win. Like, it's
Not
so
always
hard.
the best team. Yeah.
I'm amazed every year that somebody wins this tournament. Like, math says that they have to, but I'm just like, it's impossible.
If you really wanted to find the true college basketball champion, you'd let everybody else have a big tournament, but you'd take the top 8 teams and let them all play 5-game series like the NBA.
It's a series sport.
If you have one game where a Michigan kid goes nuts and plays the game of his life,
And you shoot
Tennessee
the worst you did all season.
you're not dead.
Yeah.
All right, we got another chance to bounce back from that. But the way it is, it sets up as, we're all grading these teams based on a single elimination game, and it's a game that is 90%. Were you hot? Yeah, we were hot. Were you cold? Yeah, we couldn't.
Tremendous talent, tremendous television. I'm glad my legacy and job is not tied to it. I'll say that.
Vince, you got
I was just going to say real quick, in terms of Barkley's comments and whether you're determining success or not, it's expectations. Did you do something you haven't done before? Auburn did. That should be success. Do you get there every year and now you didn't reach it? Then that could be a little bit more disappointing. It's about expectations.
Well, let's talk about that next. I want to look at Kentucky, Auburn, and Tennessee. Who had the best year? Who had the worst year? They're all kind of similar. Let's take a look. Come on back.